working for you. NBC Montana News at 5 starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Margaret Pfohl. Starting off tonight with news out of Washington, D.C. that could mean checks for us right here in Montana. After pulling an all-nighter, the Senate passed the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill today. The vote was strictly along party lines, with 50 votes for and 49 votes against. One Republican, Senator Dan Sullivan, was absent. The bill does provide $1,400 stimulus checks, $300 per week jobless benefits through the summer, $350 billion for state aid, $34 billion to expand Affordable Cares Act subsidies, and $14 billion for vaccine distribution.
The Senate has never spent $2 trillion in a more haphazard way or through a less rigorous process.
I want the American people to know that we're going to get through this, and someday soon, our businesses will reopen, our economy will reopen, and life will reopen. We will end this terrible plague, and we will travel again and send our kids to school again and be together again.
The vote came after a 25-hour-long focus on amendments to the bill, which began Friday at 11 a.m. Most amendments failed, including a bid to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. The vote to raise minimum wage was held open for a record-setting 11 hours and 50 minutes, and it sets the record for longest vote in Senate history. And speaking at the White House not long after the vote, President Biden thanked the Senate for passing the bill. Mr. Biden said the vote puts money in the hands of Americans who need it the most.
This nation has suffered too much for much too long. And everything in this package is designed to relieve the suffering and to meet the most urgent needs of the nation and put us in a better position to prevail.
Montana's senators are speaking out too. Senator Steve Daines voted against the bill, saying shoveling this money into the economy is deeply irresponsible and that Montana taxpayers deserve better. Senator John Tester voted for the bill, saying it will make every Montanan who wants a vaccine make sure they can get one, allowing our economy to open up faster. You can read their full statements on our website at nbcmontana.com. And taking a look at this photo that Jacob submitted to us of a beautiful sunrise this morning. And nope, that is not snow on the ground. Those are the clouds. That is so cool. If you have any photos that you would like to share with us, do like Jacob and head on over to nbcmontana.com/chime-in. And taking a live look over Missoula, Kalispell, Butte, and Bozeman today, the weather's looking pretty good for the most part, with some areas even seeing a little bit of sunshine like we did this past week, but it might be back to the reality of cold and snowy weather moving forward. So let's head over to forecaster Brady Brewster, who's standing by in the Weather Center with what we can expect in the coming days. Brady?
Well, you just saw that reality on the screen there over in the Butte area. We are tracking some high elevation snow showers, mostly for us in our valleys. We've managed to stay dry, but rain for most of us in our valleys that are seeing these showers. So we'll zoom in to right around the Seeley Lake area. You can see some high elevation snowfall in that area as well. And then moving into southwest Montana, so right around Butte, down in town, we are looking at more so some rainfall. You see that green there, but around Phillipsburg, Deer Lodge, higher elevations there, we are still going to continue to see some of those snow showers. So the areas that we're going to want to keep an eye out for, just for some low visibility and maybe a little bit of accumulation, McDonald, Homestake, and Lost Trail passes. As we head into tonight, these showers will dwindle, but we do have chances for some valley snow next week. I'll let you know who could expect to see it in my full forecast. Margaret?
Thanks, Brady. And to keep an eye on those temperatures while you're out and about, be sure to download our NBC Montana news and weather apps. They're free in your app store. Our weather team will update you around the clock as the conditions change. And new at 5 tonight, search and rescue in Gallatin County is seeing a higher volume of calls than normal, and it's the same for Missoula. You don't pay the rescue bill, but someone's footing it. Brady Brewster explains.
Avalanches, lost skiers, river rescues, and more. Search and rescue will be there.
We don't charge for services, and there's a pretty good reason why.
That reason, they don't want people who need help not to call for it, all because of a price tag.
In the time I've spent in search and rescue, that's never been abused.
Those price tags vary, and it depends on the type of rescue.
No two rescues cost the same dollar amount.
Secor says it's hard to put an exact total on a rescue, but it can be big. Anywhere from a few $100s for a fall to $5,000 for a helicopter to $20,000 for a few days of searching. So how do these bills get covered? Well, by property owners. Gallatin County has 3 mill levies totaling around $1.1 million per year. Missoula has 1. And what does it cover? The rescuers, they're volunteer, no cost. The department says equipment maintenance, and training take up the majority of the budget. And with the newest mill levies, Gallatin County increased staffing and unveiled plans for a new building.
It just greatly increases our capability to provide a service that everyone in Gallatin County voted on to fund.
A service that's being used more frequently now in Gallatin County than in years past. In Missoula, Brady Brewster, NBC, Montana.
State health officials announced 143 new COVID-19 cases today. Gallatin County saw the most with 26 new cases. Flathead County added 21 and Missoula County added 19. Currently, there are over 1,600 active cases in our state. Nearly 303,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered, and over 112,000 Montanans are fully immunized. And teachers in Montana will begin receiving COVID-19 vaccines next week through a federal partnership with pharmacies. President Biden announced the program earlier this week with the goal of vaccinating all teachers and child care staff by the end of March. The federal vaccine program is open to Montana educators, even though the state has not made its vaccine allotment available to teachers. Montana was one of at least 12 states that had not prioritized teachers as of Biden's announcement. And nearly 4 million doses of the newest vaccine from Johnson & Johnson will ship out on Sunday night. They'll be delivered to states for injections starting on Tuesday. Johnson & Johnson will deliver about 16 million more doses by the end of March and 100 million total by the end of June. The new shot is easier to administer with only 1 dose, but the White House is encouraging Americans to take the first dose available to them, regardless of manufacturer. And still ahead, officials say avalanche conditions are different this year than in prior years. We'll take you behind the scenes of how forecasters determine the likelihood of avalanches. Plus, families affected by the affordable housing crisis in Missoula. We're working for you to find out what resources are available. Do you have an Echo device? If so, you can get severe weather alert updates and the latest news on your Amazon devices. Just say, Alexa, what's my flash briefing? But first, here's what you need to do. Download the Alexa app and go to Settings. Select Flash Briefing and search for NBC Montana.
Coming up this week on Full Measure, President Biden is now erasing Trump administration policies along the border, and it's already having a dramatic impact. Illegal border crossings are now soaring, which threatens to plunge the U.S. into a crisis. We investigate the new changes and the communities at risk. We sit down with Senator Lindsey Graham to discuss the impact of the Biden administration reversing the Remain in Mexico program for illegal immigration. And one of the important fights in the coronavirus battle is happening at a microscopic level with DNA. We examine what scientists learned from past diseases and what coronavirus DNA is teaching us now. All that coming up this week on Full Measure.
The potential of murder hornets in Montana.
I'd have a hard time never saying never with insects.
NBC Montana investigates.
We estimate having approximately 1,000 species of bees that exist in the state.
I'm working for you, talking to Montana experts to explore the danger of murder hornets and the health of the bee population in our state. The group most at risk might surprise you.
We are seeing a lack of incidence of some of these native pollinators.
Don't miss this NBC Montana Working for You special report, Wednesday at 10.
Millions of customers are leaving.
A 66-year-old Bozeman man is dead after he was struck by a driver near Bozeman on the Saturday morning. It happened near mile marker 305 around 410 just this morning. A 59-year-old Iowa man was driving a Ford F-450 pulling a camper, and he was westbound in the driving lane of I-90 when it happened. No other injuries were reported. And over in Sanders County, a 20-year-old California woman was killed in a single car crash on Friday night. It happened on Upper Lynch Creek Road around 11:20 p.m. Montana Highway Patrol reports the car drifted off the road and overcorrected to the left. She then overcorrected to the right and drove off the road, striking a fence and a power pole before the driver was ejected. The victim is reported to be from Santa Ana, California.